Maybe you think it looks out of place to see a man riding a farm tractor on city streets. Tim Cross of Green City Growers would understand that. You see, knowing he'd be out of place in college led him to make a decision some 7 years ago that would put him on a road with some very difficult twists and turns.
I was driving trucks, I was working in a warehouse, and I knew I wasn't responsible enough for college, so I chose a path that would give me a sense of purpose. So I saw the Army, I picked something that interested me, and I said, well, this is what I'm going to learn, this is what I'm going to do. So I joined right after 9/11.
And in that call to serve, Tim found a calling.
I loved working on the aircraft, I loved taking something that was broke and nobody knew what was wrong with it, figuring it out and fixing it. When I got into something, I wanted to know everything about it. I wanted to tinker, I wanted to pull it apart, and I wanted to see what was wrong.
Tim's skills as a helicopter mechanic were invaluable during his first 2 deployments, both in Iraq. But returning home proved troublesome at times. No wrench could fix the feelings.
It became increasingly more a place I didn't really understand. And things that you normally had and grew up with and thought you knew had all changed, or rather, you changed. And yeah, so it's something hard to put into words.
He deployed again in 2011, this time to Afghanistan. Different place, same sense of responsibility to the pilots with whom he served.
The best analogy I can think of is almost a mother hen. When they're in that aircraft and they're out, then you want to know that you did your job correctly to make sure that they are taken care of and that what they need to keep themselves safe functions properly. My supervisor comes by and asked if I had heard what happened, and I said no. I was like, no. And he told me that one of our aircraft went down, 024. Before I could even ask, he told me that nobody made it, and I had literally just worked on that aircraft days prior. They do investigations whenever anything goes down, and told me a couple of times that no, there was nothing that you did, even though. But the mind believes what the mind believes, and you can't ever get things like that out of your head.
It cuts through you and it cuts deep. Now, as he builds structures that help things grow, Tim looks back to the night it truly fell apart.
I wasn't really happy at all. I was stressed about a lot of things, arguing with my spouse, and the New Year's Eve of 2015 going to 2016, I upended a bottle of pills and immediately knew I was a friggin' moron.
Tim Cross is a veteran who came to home base a couple of years ago for help. He was in that much distress that he contemplated taking his own life. Commonly, we think of PTSD resulting in the military from some kind of direct combat action, but in fact, a lot of PTSD can result from other kinds of traumas and can be equally as debilitating.
Tim began treatment with Dr. Tim Peterson, and together they dove deep using a therapy called prolonged exposure.
Prolonged exposure asks patients to systematically revisit the trauma in question. It's a very difficult treatment to participate in because we're asking patients to actually confront memories that they've usually gone out of their way to avoid.
These days, life after deployment makes a lot more sense to Tim, and home base is still there to help.
I don't like to dump my trash on other people, but being able to have a place where, Doc Peterson doesn't mind if I come in there and I dump all over his office. He's perfectly okay with it. I've been learning a lot recently that being myself and doing for myself and advocating for myself is very therapeutic. And that's definitely something I've got from home base.
Healing and growth, that's a good road to be on.
coming to work and seeing things grow and seeing this place, you know, start off brown at the beginning of a spring and then be green and then going back. And I've never had a day where I didn't want to come to work.